Hi there, and thank you so much for joining me today. It seems like YouTube is full of synth drama these days, and I thought, why not do something even more controversial and make some music on my synth channel? I know, edgy, controversial. That's just how I roll, baby. I'm absolutely stoked today to have before me one of the most powerful and just insane live setups I could imagine, which is the Erica Synths Perkons HD01 and the Elektron Octatrack Mk2. Funnily enough, though these two have so much in common, they seem to be opposite sides of the same coin. On one hand, the Elektron Octatrack is infamously one of the most complex machines to learn how to operate and master, while on the other hand, the Perkons might be the simplest and most straightforward drum machine and synth that I've ever seen. The manual is this thing right here that takes about half an hour to read. That's it. That's it. You're on your way. This is the Octatrack manual, by the way, which I am currently studying because I'm not reading this and actually studying and highlighting it and stuff. It's kind of funny because if you look at it, this is exactly the same 16 steps you have here. You get lots of the parameter locking and trig conditions that you would on the Elektron. And what's really cool is you have everything right here on the panel. It's really as easy as it gets. On the Perkons, just like on the Octatrack, you can actually chain patterns so you can get up to 64 steps, and you have odds, ratchets, and probability and so on. And you also have some few modifications. Of course, the Octatrack gets way deeper into the whole sample mangling stuff, but it's really fun that they have two different ways of approaching the kind of same mentality. And when you mix them up, it's just fun. The Perkons I found is one of those machines that are enjoyed best when you just play it and start twisting knobs. And since it's mostly knob per function here and you get just a few combos, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce. So sorry if I'm not going to be very technical today, but I really just want us to have a good time here. So the Perkons has 4 voices, which you can trigger on these 4 keys over here. And one of the most interesting voices, even though this is technically a drum machine, is this car plus strong synthesizer. Now, each one of the 4 voices has 3 algorithms, and they behave very differently. And depending on the algorithm that you're on, these 2 parameter knobs will do different things. Now, they're the same controls along the 4 voices, and that makes the mentality of live playing this so much easier because you really know just where to reach at any given time. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. That's the fun part. So for the first part of this experiment, I did one of my favorite things, which is using 2 sequencers at the same time, kind of competing with each other. So the Elektron will be sending MIDI notes to the Perkons, mostly the melodic stuff on the Car Plus Strong synthesizer. But I also have a few notes that I can program in here, so it starts, you know, competing and changing and evolving. So this is what it sounds like right now. Pretty simple stuff. Voice 3 is that Car Plus Strong synthesizer. Okay, so one of the things that I really find useful on a live performance machine is a way to revert back to your original sounds, because you can start manipulating this stuff in a way that it stops sounding good. So the Perkons over here, if you press Kit, you immediately jump back to the save preset that you had. And you get up to 64 of those kits or presets, and that'll save all the modulations, the settings on each one of these knobs. And that's really useful because there's always a way to get back home. And the same thing applies to the pattern. So for example, if I'm live jamming here, I'm just going to start tweaking away. Got some ratchets. I can always go back home. Pattern and Kit. There we go. So there's always a safety net on this, and that's pretty good because you can manipulate this thing to hell and back without even noticing it. Now, another thing that makes these two very symbiotic is that each one of the voices on the Perkons has its own audio out, and the Octatrack has 4 audio ins. So you can basically process each one of these voices individually. And once again, that's very powerful for a live performance. In this case, I'm sending the kick out to its own individual track, and the rest of the tracks are going to be processed in one. And what's cool about that is that the kick won't be involved if I start adding delays or filters. So it sounds like this. Another thing that I really enjoy about jamming on the Perkons is that the sound design becomes one of the performance features. Usually you're more concentrated on things like, I don't know, scenes or effects or the patterns, the melodies. But here you can get so wild by, tweaking knobs here that, for example, look at these hi-hats, right? Now, of course, the Perkons is a drum machine, so let's hear that kick in isolation. Now that is a very tame kick. And we can overdrive this baby. We can affect the pitch, of course. The cutoff, so it can be a booming thing, or the decay. And actually we can play that melodically. And of course, you can parameter trig this. Got out of hand pretty fast. By the way, huge thanks to Erica Synths for having sent the Perkons to me for me to explore and discover. I consider myself extremely fortunate and privileged to be here. Anyway, I didn't even notice, and while I was just playing around, my main camera died on me because it's been like, I don't know, like an hour. Just goes to show, this thing, you might say it's a synthesizer, a drum machine, but honestly, it's a time machine because you don't even realize it, and poof, time's gone when you start jamming on it. The best way I can describe the experience of playing on a Perkons is this is a drum machine that you buy for yourself, first and foremost, because lots of the stuff that I do in here, I'm not sure other people will enjoy it, but it's just so much fun to just mess around and mangle the sounds. I'm not sure if it's that musical. I'm not sure. Maybe there is an audience for it, but the audience of me loves playing around with this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful or at least entertaining. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.